All right, we are live for our meeting on Thursday, January 2026, for our regular business meeting.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good news.
All right, good news. I'm excited to remind you that it is School Board Appreciation Month. So we're appreciative of all that you do for our community, our district, and so got you some water bottles there. But we do appreciate your time away from family. I know it's still a commitment and everything you guys do for our district, but thank you for all you do, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Second part, I am excited to have our Blue Mountain Action Council Elevate tonight. I'm just going to let you talk a little bit about they're aware we have a new program to our district this year. And so if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and telling a little bit about what you do for us. So thank you.
Hello, thank you for letting me in. I'll know in the future that I can just open that door. My name is Selena Benito, and I am the CCRA, the College and Career Readiness Advisor for Columbia High School. This is the first year that we are here implementing our goals and our dreams for our students, and that is to bridge the gap between post-secondary education. So our goal is to get students enrolling into 2-year or 4-year universities. We are also supporting them with apprenticeships, internships, or just going straight to the workforce. I have Faith here as a good example of a student who has taken full advantage of what I'm doing here, and she's actively been applying to scholarships and colleges in the area and outside of the area, which is amazing. Really, we hope to just make a big impact, and I think we are. Last year, just looking at numbers, we were seeing that Columbia High School had a 34% rate of FAFSA completion. We are currently sitting at 51%, so that's already almost double what we had last year. And again, a lot of the students are just putting in that extra work, and it just shows that having a person here helping them and guiding them has made an impact in their lives, and we hope to continue working with you guys. I'm not sure if you guys have any questions. I guess I can share where else we serve. We are serving at Wahai, at College Place High School, Prescott, Waitsburg, and most recently Tushi. So we are very much ahead of the game with our side. Also just found out that we are leading FAFSA completion. Our area is leading FAFSA completion compared to the rest of the state. The rest of the state is sitting at 31%. So we are definitely putting in the work, and it's proving and showing, and we're getting results. And we really hope to see our students succeed. And like I tell all of the seniors this year, you guys have access to me for a whole other year. So your first freshman year of college, you guys can still reach out for guidance and help in any way I can. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions. That's pretty much the role. That's my spiel. My boss, Amy, was going to be here, but again, she has other commitments. So hopefully in the next school board meeting, we're invited back, and she can share a little bit more of just the history of what it is and how we are serving and just the goals we have for our region.
I can just add a little bit to it. We're obviously excited to have them. It's a grant-funded piece, and they reached out to us. And again, you kind of heard that we're thinking post-high school. Like they're working with kids on any number of things. It's not all just, we're very cautious saying it's not all just college and career, right? We're looking at any number of things where it's trades, workforce, military, all that. I mean, they're really just trying to help prepare kids beyond high school for that piece. And it's exciting to add just another piece of support for high school. The thing I love about this, and I will brag about this, is that it's not cohort-based. So we've had some other programs that have come through that are very cohort-based. They work with a certain grade band, but they can work with any of our high schoolers. And that's one of the advantages of this piece is that I've seen them. I've talked with Miller and some of the folks that they love having her in the building. Love the conversations that are already happening with students. I don't know, Kev, anything you want to add to that? I sometimes put him on the spot without asking.
Lots of great feedback from the students and the support stakeholders.
Yes.
Another great addition to it. Awesome.
Today, we were able to take a group of our high school team to Whitman College and just be part of a bigger type of conference, and that just involves everybody that has a CCRA in their building. They bring in their staff, and today Hanford joined us because, again, they were seeing that our numbers are a lot higher than them, and they were wondering what we are doing in our region and what they can change at Hanford to get their numbers up, because they're sitting pretty low in their FAFSA completion. And yeah, they sent a representative, and he was able to ask questions. And we work with a lot of people from Scholar Fund based in Seattle, and we work with CARA. They are based in New York, so they'll be here next week, and we hope to bring them around and introduce them. I'll probably be bugging Mr. Hilberg and see if he has sometime next week to go and meet them,
See me.
because again, it's just a good program to have, and it's making a difference in our students' lives, and that's what we want to see.
Awesome.
Awesome, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Board operating principal review. I'll do the board. Todd, would you do superintendent?
Absolutely.
Jillian, will you do the all?
Yes.
Okay. Disagree without becoming disagreeable. Board, use executive sessions to address complaint related to staff. Try to resolve major disagreements with one another in private.
Superintendent, state your position, but accept the will of the majority of the board and follow through in action and in spirit.
All disagree with each other in a positive and constructive fashion. Tone of voice, choice of words, and other actions can spell the difference between discussion, debate, and argument. Handle personnel concerns in private. Give as much attention to the matter in which you disagree with people as you do in this particular issue.
Thank you. Any changes or additions?
Reminder, this is a Thursday, not a Monday, so it's a special meeting, so we're not allowed to make any additions or any changes.
Okay, consent agenda. Looks like we've got 4 items. I'd entertain a motion.
Okay, we'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda. Second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on any of the 4? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to hearing of visitors. Would anybody like to address the board tonight? Yeah. State your name.
Yeah, Charles Rawson. I live over in Charbonneau. This is the 5th school district I've worked in over the years, about 30 years now. And from my experience, it's the best one I've worked at. And my concern is right now with our levy vote coming up, it's a critical time for our school district. And I base this on 2 reasons. I spoke with a lady who is a member of the Walla Walla, the Port of Walla Walla. She's on that board. It was about 2 months ago I spoke with her. She says she's had discussions with community members about the coming development. And she was relating to me that people don't seem to really understand in our community the importance of that development, and either the community being on board with it or it just being done without the community here at large of Burbank being able to have some input into it. I think that if our schools are prepared and plan for this development, we can really see some good growth and expansion of all of our school resources with that incoming tax base as far as property, the housing that would come with it and such. So my thinking is that right now it's a critical time when we can be prepared for the growth that's coming, whether we choose it to come along or not. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is in terms of the specifics with our levy vote that we have coming. Our staff deserves the best possible resources we can have so that our students can achieve at their best. If we can't give them that, then how can we ask our students to do their best? And that's why I want to see that our levy gets passed so that we have that opportunity to provide the best for our staff, because this staff here that we have in this school district is very good. For a small school district, the dedication, The ones that I've worked with, I've worked in this district for 4 years, first as full-time and then as a substitute teacher. And what I witnessed, I haven't seen in any other school district, by and large. You know, we're not perfect, nobody's perfect, no organization is perfect. But if we give them the resources as a community, that's their best opportunity to do their best work. And therefore, our students can have their best opportunity to achieve to their best abilities. And so, I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, but if we can get the word out that, hey, this is an opportunity that we have to take advantage of because of the development and because of the fact that our staff deserve those resources. So that's basically my message, and I hope that our levy goes through. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Thanks, Charles, for just being here tonight. Anybody else?
Thank you for being here. Moving on, reports and discussions.
So I'm excited to hand this over to our two board reps and ask them, they don't have a big presentation tonight, but I want them to talk to you a little bit about one of those little side projects we talked about this year. And so you don't have, I told them they didn't have to prepare anything, but I thought you'd at least tell them what you did and how you were a part of that. So, and then we'll play it.
Well, we gotta be a part of the video for, like, not promoting saying yes, like voting yes, but just to get out there and vote and, like, what the levies are. It was honestly kind of fun, just trying to figure out what to say, well, we had a script, but I don't know. It was just really fun to be a part of that and have our voice out there to tell people to vote.
The cheer team also, as well as the basketball team. Sorry, my voice is kind of gone from cheer, so.
We've been doing a lot of cheering lately.
Too much cheering, actually. But we've been wearing vote shirts during the first quarter of the game, and actually a lot of people have been like, what the heck are we voting for? And I like getting to sound smart and educate people on why we should vote. I don't know, I think it was a really good way to put things out there. We've been playing it at the basketball team games too, like on a big smart board. There's like a little stand with pamphlets and stuff, and I know everybody that's asked me, I tell them I'm not legally allowed to tell you to vote yes. However, if the levy did go through, we would continue to do a lot of the stuff that I think makes our school really special. So I don't know, I thought it was great to be a part of it, and Tommy's a super cool guy, and I think he put it together super well.
So I appreciate their effort, the extra time above and beyond to kind of just help us explain what it is, what it isn't. Again, these are just the facts. We're trying to get just good information out there. So, reminder, it's not a promotional vote yes, it's just here are the levy facts and here's the information. So I thought we'd play it and show you the video tonight and then we'll go from there.
Faith Williamson, and I'm a senior student here in Columbia School District.
And I'm Ivy Carter. I'm an 11th grader at Columbia High School.
Hi, my name is Oscar, and I'm a 12th grade student here at Columbia High School.
For us, school isn't just a place we go every day. It's a place we learn, grow, and spend time with people who know and care about us.
In Burbank, schools are more than buildings. They're where friendships start, interests are discovered, and our futures begin.
Every day, students are supported by teachers, counselors, coaches, and staff who help us learn, participate in activities, and feel safe and supported.
In February, our community will be asked to consider 2 local levy funding measures, the Educational Programs and Operations Levy and the Capital Technology Levy. Remember, levies are for learning.
These 2 levies are replacements, not new taxes. They continue the same local funding that voters have approved in past elections and that is already supporting our schools today.
The EP&O levy supports teachers and staff, support services, and extracurricular activities such as band, choir, marimba, drama, and clubs.
It also supports middle and high school athletics, transportation, and the day-to-day operations that keep schools running.
Did you know that our local levy funds 18% of our district budget? This funding makes all these supports possible.
The Capital Technology Levy supports student devices, classroom technology, learning software, cybersecurity, and the systems that help students learn and stay connected.
Our current levies are set to expire in 2026. Columbia School District is seeking to continue these supports to our students and community over the next 4 years through 2030. Together, these two measurements help maintain the programs, services, and resources currently supporting students' learning in our community.
Please remember to vote by February 10th. Ballots must be mailed or dropped off at the ballot box located in the Columbia Elementary School parking lot.
In February, our community will have the opportunity to take part in a local decision about these two levy measures.
It's all part of what it means to live here. Our community, our future, our vote. Go Coyotes.
So, thought they did a good job.
Nice job.
Well done, ladies. Thank you for being here and being a part of this. So, do you have homework tonight?
No, I fell asleep and stopped doing it actually.
Okay. If you need to go do your homework, I understand. So thank you again.
Okay. Enrollment?
All right.
Did you have anything else on that, Todd?
Nope, we were right into that. This is Dylan. Here you go.
Thank you.
All right, enrollment for January. Total with our TK kiddos, we're at 744.59. Our average at 748.29. Compared to last January, it's really close. I was impressed by that.
Although December to January was a little rough month for me.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay, budget status. General fund, for the end of December, we're at $2 million. Capital projects fund, $374,000. Debt service fund, $295,000. ASB fund, $194,000.
Pretty good.
And transportation vehicle fund, $136,000. Any questions?
Financials? Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, Amber.
Any questions for Amber? She has another event going on tonight, so if you have any questions for her before I send her on her way.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Sorry, I was a couple minutes late. Okay, moving on to, our administrative report. Is that good for you? You got it.
Sure, I'll push the
Click the
button.
keyboard, okay.
I can do it.
So excited to bring back to you Ms. Jillian Robillard, elementary school principal. She doesn't need an introduction, you already know her, but excited for the work their building continues to do. She's going to brag a little bit about their work. I just continue to be impressed by her entire staff. I have the opportunity to go down and visit occasionally, and I see the work that they're doing, and I'm just couldn't be happier with the development and the work they're doing with our students. So, Jillian, take it away.
Awesome. Well, I couldn't agree more. That's exactly how I feel every single day. It is my honor and privilege to serve this school, this community, this staff every day. I am in shock and awe about the work that they do day in and day out. I am always so excited. So this is just the first page. It kind of gives you a little bit of glimpse into our day-to-days, right? So got pictures of our kids and our community coming in. We've got pictures of silly times with staff. We've got, our teams sitting down doing the work. Just some different community things that kind of show that what we're doing. These were like the 12 on my phone, real quick that I had, but there's a lot more that is going on. So, family community involvement. So, the building goal this year was to have more family activities sprinkled throughout the year. So, we used to do things like Grandparents' Day and a couple other things in the school kind of decided that instead of having a couple of large ones, they really wanted to get more families in, but sprinkle it throughout. It became a little bit more manageable, and we got to hit different populations at different times. So each grade level chose to take on an activity at 1 month throughout the year, whichever one it was, and they kind of got to choose. They got to choose who they wanted to focus on and what was the activity, things like that. So we've got all kinds of things that we've got planned for the year. So far, kindergarten did their pumpkin patch, and then they had families come in, and they, as you can see, they painted their pumpkins. That was really fun. First grade did a cookie decorating with families in December. So families got to come in. They had Christmas cookies. They all got to decorate and hang out, eat cookies. And so we've got a couple of upcoming things. We've got things with grandparents, there's picnics with parents. They kind of all have a little bit of a theme throughout, but it's really just trying to bring our families back in. You know, our biggest thing this year was we keep talking about continuing to build up that community. So still really trying to bring that elementary school back to the heart of our community and really kind of pushing through. And so that was the thing that we will continue on throughout this year. We will have 2 family nights this year. The first one will be One Book, One School, and we are choosing Stuart Little. And Hannah, actually right there, is our person who had set up and runs it and does all of the heavy lifting for that. She does a great job. I'm really excited to get that kicked off. And then the second one we'll be hosting this year will be a STEAM night, so we'll kind of do that in the spring as well. And our goal is, again, we just want to kind of offer some things, get the families back in, do some fun stuff, kind of keep going. All right, so iReady reading growth. Look at that graph right there. Look at that graph. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so our goal is always red goes down, green goes up. Okay, so this is our iReady reading from fall to winter. And I was blown away. It has even improved a little bit. This was one I pulled on Monday. We've had a couple more that have come in. It's even better. But we really are rocking and rolling. Okay, so we are always looking for growth, right? We got kids that come in at all different levels, all different places, and our goal is that we're growing. You know, iReady sets kind of a growth goal and a stretch goal. I just sat in data meetings this last week with grade levels, and you know, we talked about the good and the work that we still have to do, but I mean, we are doing the work. And my teachers, they are digging in. They meet every single Monday with their PLCs. They are looking at data. They are identifying the needs. They are working together as a team. They're hitting kids in the very specific place that they need to be to try to get them to be able to grow. So it's amazing. I'm so excited. So we're just going to keep on doing the work that we've already been doing. Hopefully this graph continues in the correct trajectory. Any questions about that part? When I look at math, same thing. Look at that graph. We're doing it. So we're very lucky that we have a math curriculum that really is kind of aligned across all 5 or 6 grade levels. And so, you know, they're kind of seeing the same thing. They're kind of working through. We've identified some spots in math that we know as a struggle. Geometry specifically has been a struggle across all of our grade bands, and so we've been having conversations about how we can kind of get in front of that, do a few different things, especially in our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade as they're getting ready for their SBA, iReady's curriculum. So after the SBA, so how do we get that in and really kind of do some different things? But again, we have so many kids who are making such tremendous growth, and you know, the work that the teachers are doing are showing, so this is our goal to keep going. Any questions on math? The other piece that we're really working on and enjoying is our MTSS Tier 1, and then this year we started Tier 2. So our Tier 1, as you guys have known and kind of heard about over the time, is our universal. So those were where we set expectations, we did our posters, we really reteach expectations, we're really looking for some different things so that everybody across the board has that same language. Our Tier 1 team, our rock stars, they set the stage, and we just kind of continue on with it. So our goal is, as we brought Tier 2 in, that we continue to hold true to what we did for Tier 1, right? So that doesn't drop off as we add in that next level of Tier 2. So the top graph just shows, these are our daily referrals that we get. So this is the number of kids who, you know, at some point in time made a mistake, got a referral somewhere. This is a combination of referrals at our office as well as in class. So it could be something as small as redirects, something as big as, more aggressive behavior. So as you can see, our trajectory is going down. That's what we want to see, right? We're going in the right direction. We're always going to start out high as we continue that reteaching, getting ourselves settled into that piece. So our trajectory is going the exact way we want that to go. As we dig into our data, we get to go into tier 2. And that's when we take that top tier kids, the kids at the top of the triangle who are just needing additional supports, right? What we have in place with that tier 1 is just not working. We need a couple more. So we right now have check-in, check-out, and we have a total of 8 students that we have in that. The goal is for them to get 80% or higher in a day, right? So 80% of their day, they're getting, all their points, they're making it, they're able to be safe, respectful, responsible, all of those things. Right now with the 8 kids, their average daily score is 77.36, which is fantastic, right? So these are the kids that they're on the struggle sometimes, right, to really be able to do the things. We have a school counselor this year, Katie Brown, and she has taken our tier 2, not only in our building, but our district, and just ran with it and really developed some amazing things, and has just taken this over. And I cannot sing her praises enough because she has taken this, she's owned this. We've got a couple peers that really assist, but we are really seeing this have a really positive effect with our kiddos. We will be adding in a break program here soon as we are kind of finishing out getting all of our stuff in order for check-in and check-out. So, any questions on that? No? Anyways, that is my brag of the things that we're doing. I literally cannot brag enough about my staff, the kids, the families. I mean, it has been the most amazing thing to be able to do and watch. I was just talking to a teacher this week, and I said, I think about this last year and where, we started and where we are now and where we're going, and it is one of the coolest things to watch. So thank you very much. Did I miss anything, you guys?
So thank you, Jillian. It's probably the best illustration of growth that we saw in here. So it's pretty awesome.
It is, isn't it?
I love to see it. I mean, just going down the data-driven education model. I'm a big fan of it. So to know we're winning in real time is pretty awesome.
It is.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank them. They're the ones that are doing all that work out there. Let me tell ya.
Yeah.
I try to provide snacks every now and then.
Let me doing some double up on something here in a minute on some of that stuff. So I'll double that. Let's keep going.
Okay.
All right, excited to announce the 2026 Crystal Apple Award recipient is none other than our Columbia Middle School teacher, Angie Booth. Angie's been with our district for 13 years as our middle school interventionist, circle students in mathematics and ELA. And so she will be honored at the March 19th ceremony at the ESD in Pasco. So excited to recognize her work within our district. I will speak specifically, Angie's done, just personally say at a district level, I've seen her do an amazing job with our middle school team. She's taken kind of the lead of our middle school building team and just really got out in the front of that group and has really helped guide their efforts. I mean, it's been a whole team piece, but it's been fun watching that whole group come together. And I know she does some amazing things day to day, but I can just literally, I see that monthly when I see them come here and work through that. So I appreciate her effort and really their building's efforts. So it's awesome. So I'll jump into the professional development report. As always, I'm going to back up a little bit, but I promise I'll move through this very quickly. So professional development report. This is my promise when we meet and we talk about some things. I want to follow up with you on the work that's being done. So as a reminder, just as the board, that we met, met as a staff on Friday, January 9th. Big picture reminder that we have 4 per diem days in our district calendar. You can see that is above and beyond the 180 student school days that we get. Those are in pink. You see in our district calendar, we have 2 in August, 1 in January, and 1 again in May. We do have 2 districts, 2 state-approved waiver days. Those come from within the 180 days. That's why we put a waiver in for those 2. Those are seen in light blue, but I'm just gonna give you a quick update on January 9th. So that was just the backup big picture. Reminder, this does come from a place. It's not just like out of nowhere. We attach these pieces to our strategic plan. We're still working on January 9th within that student achievement piece specifically. You heard Jillian talk a little about our work with Tier 1 and Tier 2, the pieces that we'll continue to strategically work through. I just want to remind our board that we've been working on MTSS really for 4 years, but I call year one was kind of a false start, if you want to use a football term. We worked with another consortium to work with some things, and we started in it, but we didn't get very far. I would say so. Really working through this, we've been working for 3 years with Dr. Leeds-Hoyt. Really in 23-24, we were working on our whole district, and when you hear the terms like Tier 1, we're really talking about all kids, all classrooms, all kids, everyone gets. We were really setting a lot of foundational work with that Tier 1. Did a lot of work in there. This past year, we moved from Tier 1, and some buildings began transitioning to the Tier 2 work that you heard Jillian do. So we've gone from all kids, and now we're starting to work on, okay, some kids need more, right? So when you hear Tier 2, you've gone from 1 to just now a smaller group of kids that just need additional support. And so we're continuing last year as we transitioned from Tier 1 to Tier 2. And the great thing is this year, we got all 3 of our buildings starting on Tier 2 work. It's messy, it's hard, it's not easy, right? And it's not always perfect steps, lock steps, you know? We try some things and something doesn't work and we have to try some other things. And I'm not here to tie it up into a pretty bow and tell you, oh, this all works perfect, because it's not. It's hard and it's ugly work, right? I mean, it's rolling up our sleeves, trying to figure out how we best serve all of our students. But that's just kind of, again, big picture where we're at with these pieces. I talked to you many, many years ago saying we'd get on this journey, and we're still there. That we're progressively working our way through it, and we're stubborn enough to maintain that. When we say we're not, going to go start shifting and doing left and right and doing other things. We're continuing to do the work, and it's hard, dirty, ugly work. It's not ugly, it's pretty cool. But I mean, it's roll up your sleeves type work. And it's frustrating sometimes. This is real. It's hard work. So this past January, we did all kinds of different things. We did some pieces and some writing pieces. We did some of the Tier 2, where we talked about the Some Kids work, building on those supports at the elementary. You heard her talking about check in, check out. The high school, they're working on something called Check and Connect. And again, we're trying to figure these things out, how that supports and works with those students. The great thing you can see about all this stuff, though, is you see us moving through this together as a district. It's not just the elementary doing the work. It's not just the high school. It's not just the middle school. We've turned all in a direction. We're all walking the same direction. And it looks different. It has to and it needs to look different at all these different levels. But we're having similar conversations, and what it means and what it looks like in our buildings are a little bit different because it has to because of our students. But we're all heading down the same direction. That's what's great. We can do things like that in small schools. We can turn and pivot and move pretty quickly to those things. We're doing data reviews. You hear things like SWIS. These are some of the data components that we use. It's one piece. We have lots of different things. We look at discipline. We look at grades. We look at attendance. We look at lots of different things. We're talking about attendance. We know attendance is still an issue for us. I mean, let's be straight. Anyone could tell you, the kids that show up, that are here 5 days a week, we're doing pretty good with, right? We've got kids that we struggle to get, and these are sometimes kids that we struggle to, they've got other stuff going on. We don't control everything there, right? We don't have control of all those pieces. But 9 times out of 10, if we've got students we're struggling with, it starts with attendance. And so we're trying to still get our arms around some of those pieces, but you're going to see us continue to look down those roads. Obviously, we're still dealing with challenging behaviors. Going down this road doesn't mean we get rid of those things. Those things will be there, and they will always be there for us. How we respond to that will be different, though. And we're trying to get to a place where it's not just the teachers having to figure that all out by themselves. We're trying to create a system to where we can all work together and navigate through this. Again, it's not pretty, it's not easy, it's difficult, it's hard work, but this is the work we continue to do, and we're still going down that road. So, just a quick update. Again, I didn't go too much into it because I didn't want to get into the weeds too much, but don't want you to forget the hard work that they're doing each and every single day. Okay? Questions on that before I move on? Okay. moving on to the sidewalk project. So I won't read this for you. You're welcome to read this, but this is the Walla Walla County's official news release they put out. We do have a sidewalk project that is planned. I've met with them on 2 different occasions. Just want to bring this to you because it is moving forward. So I bring this to you to help spread the word and know, because it is attached to district property, and so you'll see what happens and what's going on here. But we're working with the County Works Department. They received the grant. We didn't do it. They did it for the county level, and they're trying to improve safe walking and biking access to get students to our campus. So if you go to the county and you click on their website where you see that there, click the link there, you'll see these. In your packet, you have a different PDF map of that. But just to show you a reminder, up top right, you're going to see what is Rankin. And you can see our track over here. The plan proposal is to put some new sidewalks and asphalt to get safe walking and biking. They'll put some new sidewalk materials coming up here off of Rankin. Crossing here, it's going to go in front. We already have some asphalt kind of still there, but you can see some sidewalk, actually, some real curbs and sidewalks, yes.
We know it's going to be sidewalks.
Sidewalks, yes. In fact, you see the layout of some of this, what it looks like in some of these areas where they still have, depending on where we're at, Humorist Road. So as you see Humorist here, they're going to extend the bike lane, what they call bike lane. So on your side, you're going to see they're going to extend that a little bit to have a bicycle piece here. And then they've adjusted this plan since they came out of the football game because they did see the parking and how that works and figured out some of those pieces. We've had some conversations. But on this side, they're going to extend that for a bicycle lane. And they're going to put the sidewalk curb up closer to the fence on the other side. I've talked with them about elevation and some things like that. We're having those conversations. But you can see we're going to actually have a full-on sidewalk there. It's going to turn and it's going to come down Columbia School District Road. So there's, you see the end zone. This is where people are coming in over here. You're going to have an actual curb and asphalt. You can see again right here what that looks like. You can see a multi-use path there. This is really on this side. It's going to be a curb. It's going to be decent size. So this will change cars when this goes through. They won't be able to nose in on some of those pieces on that, but we're hoping through this, we've talked about, maybe they can parallel park through some of that extension and some of those. We don't want to lose the parking in that. But the great thing is we're actually getting sidewalks through that piece. So that's going to come all the way up here till you see the corner of the baseball field here. It'll end right there at that parking lot. But crazy, I didn't know this was happening until the last time I met with them. They're actually going to continue as you move on to this. Next slide. And it's going to go down Main Street, which that's the part that surprised me the last time. I didn't realize it. So they're actually going to be putting some curbs on here so you can go from here, and it's actually going to turn the corner right here. Here's the back part of the elementary parking lot. It's going to come up here, Shauna's place, all the way up to this corner. So technically, you can get on a walking from Rankin all the way to the corner of the elementary now with this new project, which will be pretty cool for our students.
That's tied into existing up there, right? Isn't there a sidewalk up there?
I think so.
Yeah, it's right there.
So it's going to be full. Nice.
So we're pretty excited about that. The only downer part I can tell you is they don't have all the funding for this yet. They've got the first half of the funding for the engineering design. They're putting in for the second part of the funding. They tell me they're confident. They're confident enough they want to tell me they'd like to start it this summer. So they feel like they would love to begin working on this summer. Kev, take note of that. That might be in construction out by that track area over the summer and over on the other side of the football field. But still an exciting opportunity for our students and our community here. So, questions on that? Just help promote it. That's all we're talking. And the county's it's in our newsletter. There's spots going back to this where people can put in comments and suggestions and things like that. So just help spread the word. It directly does impact our district, so that's why we're making sure we're trying to help get the word out. Any other questions? Okay. Oh, right there. Comments are due February 18th. Okay, next part, moving on to the next report. Excited to announce that we received a grant. We applied for a state competitive grant. And this is different than like other grants like Title LAP and those other pieces. This is a competitive one, and we were lucky enough to get one. We actually applied for 3, so my odds weren't that great. But we got 1 out of 3 if we want to celebrate. But we're excited that out of this grant, we were notified we had been awarded $150,000, which is a decent amount of money. to remodel the middle school gym bathrooms. The grant is all tied to ADA access. And so you'll see on the map there with the yellow star there, I just wanted to show you the location. It does not touch any of the locker rooms. We're not allowed to do that based on the grant pieces on it. But those two community bathrooms, the male and female boys and girls bathrooms in that corner, they do not have ADA access. Those things were built back in the times where we didn't have the rules and regulations on that, so they've been grandfathered in this. We wrote a grant because we had to talk about how we actually have to leave our school open, the commons area, to get ADA access to that. And so for safety, security reasons, we would like to be able to, close that off and be able to provide a nice restroom for our community. And so we're hoping, if we cross our fingers, that we can start on this summer. I actually did a walkthrough with Design West this afternoon. They had all their equipment in there doing the measurements. They had a cool little robot thing that measured things, that spun around and did all kinds of stuff. They were looking at access. And so our hope would be that if we can time this right, we would love to start this construction beginning, I'm going to say, somewhere around the second week of June, like we're getting school out, and that we could have two brand new just bathrooms in our district. In that location, two brand new bathrooms. We're trying to pull the fronts of those access pieces out to the front. You have one that has an overhang on the girls' side. We'll try to get rid of that and bring the other one for the boys out to the front because we want to make those single-use family restrooms. So they'll both have a stall and a urinal. You can lock behind it, kind of single-use family type, two locations for that. So excited to announce that and begin. It's another project, but we're excited about it. And it was grant funded. So, questions?
Did we ever get hot water in the bathrooms?
Yes. Well, we're working on that.
So if we didn't, we should definitely try to.
That was part of today's conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hit and miss.
I knew it was an issue in the past. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah. So
That's great. Good news.
that was we actually brought that up. We actually had to go through the plans. I have to get into there tomorrow. I'm dropping off all the old as-builts, and they're gonna start developing it. They believe it's gonna take me a month or two to get the whole project scope dialed in for us so that we can go in. Our hope is if we can, we'd like to use a small works roster, we believe, based on the new procurement numbers that we need for that. We may not have to take it out to an official bid, but we can use a small works roster, which would speed up the process based on those numbers. I'll just keep you informed all along the way.
Policies?
Moving on to policy, I'm bringing you five new policies. Make sure I got that right there. 3 of those are critical. Reminder, that's the new word for essential. That's just policy. The first one with LAP program, they removed expired language we no longer have to have. I want to get rid of that, so that is critical. We need to do that. The second one, they've just updated the non-discrimination statement, added a new protected class that's required by audits. So we've updated that non-discrimination statement. The third one, they've updated, as we talk about bid thresholds, they're adjusting the number for federal dollars on that one. By the way, the one we're working on, I just talked about, is a state level one. This doesn't affect it, but obviously we want to get our federal dollars lined up, so for future pieces. And I don't normally bring non-essentials to you, as we've talked in the past, but these are 2 I wanted to. I believe it's important for us to do. The 2, they're just marked as important, so they weren't critical. One is about program compliance, and it's a non-discrimination piece, so I just want to keep those up to date whenever we have audits. We get flagged for those, so I want to make sure we get that up to date. Why they didn't mark that as critical, I don't understand or know, but it was one I want to make sure we add because it's just a non-discrimination statement again. The second one is regarding construction finance, and they've updated the construction financing rules and regulations consistent with the RCWs. And I felt that was important. If we ever go out for bonds or things in the future, we want to have our policies up to date with our new requirements on that. Again, didn't deem it essential, but I felt it was pretty important to make sure what we have on file for policy is the latest law concerning construction finance. Any questions on any of those? It's just a first reading, or a second opportunity, but I'm great with all of them.
Okay. Board calendar review?
Board calendar review, next month we'll bring back our enrollment. We'll look at our accounts payable, we'll pay the bills, we'll look at budgets. If we've got a full group of 5, we'll look at the reorganization. And if you have any other suggestions, I'm open to that at that time. Questions, suggestions?
Anything further? You guys good? Okay, we're adjourned.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.